Hi again, it's Carol Duffy, Senior Play Therapist in Tusla in Mayo, back to talk to you and give you a few more ideas on playfulness and ways that you can increase playful opportunities together with your child. And just to give you a recap, any opportunity that you can engage in playfulness with your child, interactive play that promotes joy and positive emotions can really boost your child's development, boost your child's relationship with you. And we know now for certain that positive parent-child relationships really build your child's capacity for future success in life. And it also promotes their resilience and their capacity to manage big feelings, big emotions, and to overcome stressors. So it acts like a vaccine and immunity against high levels of stress. So any opportunity you get to play with your child is an opportunity that is well spent. So last time I talked to you a little bit about creating a sensory box, and I showed you materials in that box that can be really helpful and really useful and some of the benefits of those. But today I'd like to show you more sensory play ideas, but these are going to be things you can make from materials you have maybe in your own kitchen cupboard. So I'm just going to talk to you about the benefits of sensory bins. For many children, they need a lot of sensory activation. Some need more than others, some need less than others. And we need to find that just right mix, so they have their sensory experiences regulated in a way that promotes that positive optimal arousal state that I spoke to you about before. And again, it can promote lots of feelings of joy, problem solving, it boosts their imaginative capacities, it boosts their fine motor skills, and it boosts positive emotions once again, which can inoculate us against stress and counter condition stress. So I want to show you some really simple ideas, okay, that we can all do at home. Using your old takeaway boxes or your old vegetable containers or fruit containers is a really handy way to store and make your own sensory bins. And why I would have more than one available is because it provides you like an a la carte menu that you can give to your child and yourself, where you can both choose what sensory play material you both enjoy best. And you can explore and increase your capacity to tolerate sensory materials that mightn't be your preference, and in which case it pushes you beyond and outside of your own window of tolerance in a comfortable way, which increases your capacity to manage stress outside of the context of play and going into your day-to-day life. So a really nice one is dyeing rice. Okay, so I'm just going to show you. So these are a few different sensory bins I have. So this is just yellow rice that's on its own, and you can use this to create really lovely scenes as well if you want to make something that is more product orientated. I've seen children use yellow rice to create a picture of a sun. They glue it on, or they've created scenes, beach scenes, or if any of you are out farming, they're creating hay scenes and cutting the hay or the silage. So all sorts of different colours in the rice can create all sorts of different scenes. But again, you don't have to create any specific product. You can just enjoy the experience of it. And when you do, it allows you many, many opportunities to notice and reflect and track the play. So you literally say what you see. It's like catchphrase. You're narrating what you see. You like that. You picked that up. You knew exactly what to do with that. You've made a decision. Promoting the child's agency, their sense of efficacy, that I am able to do this. I am able to make decisions. I'm able to make good decisions. We can all do that very naturally and very seamlessly in the context of play. And that will lend itself to better and stronger decision making as they face more challenging situations in their day-to-day life. Starting it in play builds their body's capacity to know that I can make a decision, I can stand over it, I can problem solve. So when we notice those skills in the context of play, you're literally building up that child's ability to do it again and again and again. So they become really skilled at it. So here's another lovely one with multicoloured rice. We've got purple, we've got green, and again it really invites us in. I'll just bring it up closer to the camera so you can see. But when we engage in play materials like this that have a lot of colour and sensory aspects to them, it really invites you in. Anytime I've delivered workshops where I've used these materials, it's almost the first thing that happens. Parents and professionals will walk up, move around, put their hands in, dig and really feel what it's like and say, oh, I love this myself. I really enjoy it. And I always respond, of course you do. Why wouldn't you? Because our bodies need play, and interactive play helps us all. So these are two simple ideas. Another really nice one, and that's actually really quick to do. So if you have a child who struggles with waiting, a child who struggles with impulse, and stretching their capacity to move from this one to the rice can be really helpful because it stretches out their tolerance for waiting. When you dye chickpeas, which is what is in here, and in here, and again, they're really inexpensive to get chickpeas, and just a little squirt of paint in a food bag, which I'll show you before we finish. Let's make this up. Even listen to that sound. So you can activate more than one sense. You're activating what we see, what we touch, sometimes what we smell when we're making it, and what we hear, okay? And if you're really inventive, and I'll show you in another clip that we'll do going down the line, you can use food like pasta or spaghetti, and in that way you can activate the taste system as well. So activating the senses in really optimal ways, promoting the child's capacity to engage and feel regulated and engage with emotional fluency and emotional language in a way that's in no way threatening or stressful or demanding to them. Builds their capacity to do it when it might be more demanding and challenging. So this is the chickpeas. Again, I've been mixed with rice, and the chickpeas, when you colour them with paint, they will dry and be ready for use much quicker than the rice, okay? So another little example that I've shown you, or that I want to show you, is, I don't want to spill anything here all over this camera, is I've used a fruit tray. You'll often see these with this strawberries and blueberries or raspberries. So I recycle all of these and I fill them up, or the child can decide to make their own little tray, and they can play all sorts of games where they're playing shop, so they've moved into more elaborate play, or just stay with the sensory play, exploring what they like, what they don't like. For a child who might have had an interruption in their development, or they may struggle with their sensory processing, or they may have a heightened anxiety system, just engaging in what they like and what they don't like, and discovering that in a very stress-free and joyful environment can really promote anti-anxiety systems and greater capacities to tolerate the world in a playful way. So any of you who eat porridge or use baby formula, using these little scoops is another really handy way to make the games more playful and to move things from one pot to another. And again, you're promoting fine motor skills here. And another lovely material that you can put in this is kinetic sand. Now, for those of you who might have kinetic sand in your arsenal, you can make your own sand by mixing olive oil or baby oil. But if it's olive oil, it's safer if a younger child should put it near their mouth. Mixing it with semolina, and you make your own version of sand. Or, as I've seen some other Facebook pages recently, blending up some Cheerios can make a nice sand texture. But kinetic sand is really lovely for a child who might need to feel more in control. So again, thinking about the kinds of materials you're using and when you're using them and why. Starting off with dyeing rice, a child who struggles with waiting, you might need to start off with dyeing chickpea first, or just let them play with the chickpeas and the rice without dyeing them, and building up their capacity to tolerate more in the context of play. It promotes their ability to tolerate more in their school environments, in the context of their friends, or any other place or environment that poses a bigger demand or challenge on that child's nervous system. But kinetic sand is lovely for a child who feels they need more control. Kinetic sand is much more controllable. It molds and shapes in our hands, so it can really promote a positive experience of well-being for that child. Now, I'm just going to show you really quick before I sign off how to make your own sensory rice. Okay, so any of you who've ever met me will know that food bags are one of my favourite commodities. So my kitchen cupboard always has lots of food bags available. So just a food bag with a Ziploc, okay? And then you pour some rice in. So I'm going to use the scoops. And again, if it goes wrong and it gets messy, it's an opportunity for repair. It's an opportunity to tell your child, it's okay. When things go wrong, we can fix them. We can make it better. Everything will be all right. And I'll talk to you more about repair in another video. But for today, I'd just like you to know that when things go wrong, it's another opportunity to build up your child's capacity to tolerate more challenging experiences in the context of play. So it's really stress-free. And when we're not stressed, we're more able to learn. When we experience joy, our capacity to broaden our repertoire of ways to cope with stress increases. So all you do is you put some rice in a food bag, squirt a bit of paint in. This is some very pale orange that I have in here, so we'll probably mix it all up. And that experience in itself creates a really lovely sound, and it can be a really lovely regulating experience for a child, getting to squish that rice in the food bag and mess free. Nobody's hands are mucky and being wiped all over the place. Some children might like the more mucky, messy experience. That's perfectly fine too. Some children might need the safer distance of not wanting to touch the wet. So paying attention and noticing what your child likes and doesn't like really promotes your capacity to understand them better, and so to attune more sophisticated to their actual needs. Okay, so there it's all mixed up. This is the rice. Now with chickpeas, this will dry much quicker, but with rice, what you do is pour it out in some kitchen toweling on a plate, spread it out like so. Okay, put it all out of the bag, and again, fine motor development can really increase here as the child squeezes it all out. Loads of opportunities for you to notice their capacity and their skills as they engage in this. Spread the rice out and leave it to dry overnight. And then it's full and ready to play with, just like these sensory bins the next day. And they can create environments, worlds, any creation that they like with it, or they can just enjoy the sensory feeling, the sensory aspects of it. Okay, so have a go and put some play in your day and enjoy it. See you next time.